Hello everyone, amateur meteorologist. First in weather here. It is August 11th, 2020, and this right here is the GOES 16 satellite view of Tropical Depression 11. It is spinning quite nicely. It's gained a little bit of strength, and it's expected to strengthen into a tropical storm at least in the next few days. And as you can see from the satellite view, it is not really too organized, just mostly a big jumble of convection and thunderstorms. But this should change as we go through the next couple of days, and we should see some more organization with the system. If we look at the official NOAA track, it is expected to transition from a depression into a storm eventually before heading northwesterly. I know this looks like a really intimidating track, but it does look like this will go and make a sudden northeasterly turn after around Sunday. And if we look at the model of ensemble plots, you can see that it does go basically due northwesterly, but then after that it should make that sudden and sharp northeasterly turn. And that's due to the fact that the Bermuda Ridge is quite weak right now, and also because of a trough that will be swinging through, really swinging this system to the east. Now, one other thing I want to touch on is the derecho we had yesterday, which basically started in western Iowa and went all the way down through Illinois, Indiana, finally weakened in the Ohio region, but still impacted states like Kentucky and Ohio, and even parts of West Virginia and Tennessee. And so this had a huge swath of just severe weather reports, 732 wind reports, 29 hail reports, and 2 tornado reports, which brings you to a total of 763, which is the second most this year. The first prize goes to the April 12th event, where we had just a monstrous cold front come through that really just brought severe weather from basically the entire area west of the Mississippi all the way to the eastern seaboard, which was quite extraordinary. But this, again, also a very strong derecho. You had wind gusts consistently approaching 90, even 100 miles per hour in many locations at the derecho's peak, and you had widespread wind damage, widespread 75 plus mile per hour wind reports, and the highest wind gust was recorded at 112. 112, yes, that's right, 112 miles per hour at the derecho's strongest point. So again, quite a very strong derecho. No doubt that this will be classified as derecho. Over 600 miles of damage, consistent wind damage reports, and so this definitely was one of the stronger ones we've seen in a while. And 2020 in general has seen a lot of derechos. I think this is already I think near 10, even more, where we usually only see about 4 or 5 each year. Now, if we switch to the GFS model, you can see this is August 15th. This is the 12Z run valid for 18Z August 15th. As you can see, we sort of have this high pressure right here, and then we have this low right here. If we look at the GFS 6-hour average precip rate, we can see that it does show quite a bit of storminess developing over the region starting around Wednesday and then lasting all the way into Sunday. And so just generally a period of unsettled weather, essentially in this region right here, for the next 3-4 days, starting on Wednesday. And so I think you could see some pretty isolated locations that do pick up quite a bit of rain on top of the already very wet soil we have. For example, Richmond, Virginia is already having its 8th or 9th wettest August on record, and we're barely even a third of the way into the month. So this additional rain really could add up and cause some flooding issues because the ground already is so moisturized or saturated, from tropical storm or former hurricane Isaias. So this definitely is a matter of concern. If we look at the NAM, you can see we get a better picture of what's going on. You have that Bermuda Ridge right here funneling in those moist southwesterly or southeasterly winds. You have that high pressure right here funneling in those northerly winds. And so that should help to increase the convection. And then you have that short wave right here that essentially just stalls over the mid-Atlantic region. And you have that low that essentially forms along that stalled shortwave front. And that's going to bring consistently wet and unsettled weather from Wednesday all the way through Sunday, from states like South Carolina all the way up to New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So if we look at the rainfall totals, you can see the GFS is showing anywhere about from 1 even half an inch all the way up to potentially 2.5 inches of rain in spots. You can see the GFS is predicting the greatest concentration of rain to be basically from the Virginia-North Carolina border all the way up into interior portions of New York, and also the extreme eastern coastline. Now, the NAM, on the other hand, is not showing that much of an extreme picture. I think the NAM is, with its 12-kilometer resolution, is really picking up on the more isolated nature of these thunderstorms, that they'll be popping up each day in different locations, and will essentially be pulse storms, which dump a lot of rain over a very small area. And so over the compilation of 3-4 days, about 30 or 20% of the area will see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain, while other areas will, for the most part, miss out. And it's impossible to know which areas will get the large amount of rainfall, which areas won't. But again, if you get caught under one of these storms, the risk for flooding is quite significant. Notice that the NAM, though, does not really show much rain in northwestern Pennsylvania and the interior portions of New York, which is quite interesting. So I do think maybe the NAM is showing a little bit more of a southern progression of that front than the GFS. So it'll be interesting to see where those storms really lie. But I think we do have relatively high confidence that Virginia, North Carolina, and the southeastern portions of New Jersey and Pennsylvania will be in for quite an unsettled pattern starting Wednesday and particularly on Thursday. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just a quick update. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.